This Tesla Model 3 hybrid build will be 1,000 horsepower of gas-powered fun. In the quest of making the automotive sector cleaner invention after the invention has been made in the sector, and one among the most recent is the Tesla Model 3 hybrid. Join us today in this video as we talk about this hybrid model, which time not long is to make arrivals. You can pause for a moment to click the subscribe button and the notification bell to receive more interesting content from this channel. But to understand this new hybrid version, it's important we get a good background of what this fellow Tesla Model 3 really is. It's nothing less than a spectacle. It's a compact executive sedan, battery-powered, produced by Tesla. Limited production of the Model 3 began in mid-2017, with the first production vehicle rolling off the assembly line on July 7, 2017. The official launch and delivery of the first 30 cars took place on July 28th. Model 3 is one of the best EVs around, practical, high-tech, and boasting great performance and range. Understated styling hides a sophisticated electric drivetrain and an ultra-modern interior that's dominated by a huge touchscreen. It was a winner of an Auto Express 2020 Car of the Year award. The Model 3 is the cheapest car in the Tesla range but doesn't feel too far off the larger Model S in terms of quality and practicality. It's big enough for 4 adults to travel in comfort, combined with fantastic refinement. Nevertheless, a new wave of highly competitive rivals such as the Hyundai Ioniq 5, Ford Mustang Mach-E, and Polestar have announced their presence, and another seemingly crazy rival is soon in the ascendancy, the Tesla Model 3 hybrid with 1,000 horsepower of gas-powered motor. But before we take a look at this hybrid model, it's cool to spy on this one other. It is a company in Austria that believes they can make the Tesla Model 3 quote-unquote better and cheaper. And they demonstrated their technology in a prototype by adding a 2-cylinder petrol engine and removing some batteries in the Model 3, creating the worst Tesla ever. Obrest Powertrain, the brainchild of engineer Frank Obrest, developed what they claim to be a quote-unquote zero vibration generator, which is a small 2-cylinder petrol engine with an output of 40 kilowatt per 54 horsepower and a weight of only 95 kilograms. The engineer believes that all electric vehicles are too expensive and that the best way to make them cheaper is by reducing their electric range and adding a small petrol motor, which is basically a plug-in hybrid, but Obrest calls it a hyper-hybrid, to a large or less degree. The born Austria engineer Obrest read the minds of Justin, a Chinese car enthusiast and pioneer of the hybrid Tesla Model 3. The motivation of Justin towards this hybrid was rich. He had created the first V8 swapped Tesla. This became an inspiration for him to hatch a similar swap idea. Plus the feeling of boredom in the car, you would just sit and touch no gearbox nor hear any sound besides the wind while driving. He came up with the idea of combining the instant torque of an EV with the fun of a turbocharged gasser. Other than just a pure gas engine or entirely EV, he united the two power sources into what he calls a hybrid model. Under the frunk of this new model sits a Volkswagen EA888 2-liter 4-cylinder plucked from a Volkswagen Golf. Justin chose the VW engine rather than others like Honda, citing ease of replacement parts and cost effectiveness for performance gains. He has retained the 300 horsepower factory electric motor in the rear of the car and its factory battery. They also relocated all of the factory Tesla components that sit in the front to the rear of the car. And as to how he will synchronize the Tesla Model 3 hard circuits to him in a harmony with his VW engine is a parable for Justin and his engineers to unravel. This Tesla Model 3 hybrid build will be 1,000 horsepower of gas-powered fun. A factory electric motor in the rear of the car and its factory battery gives an HP of 300, and a gasoline motor will power the front wheels exclusively, yielding a horsepower of 700, which means the car will be all-wheel drive. They forged internals and placed Garrett G30 770 turbocharger to get the job done. To make sure they hit that goal of more than 700 horsepower, a little bit of nitrous is used to provide the extra power when the turbo runs out of breath. About 3 months did it take for the initial fitment of the engine and the fabrication to be completed before ever could be heard the roar of the engine in the frunk. With less than a month to go before launch, Justin and his team are doing the final touches. He waits while working, hoping for success by mid-June. But one thing is undeniably apparent of Justin's motivation. It's that kind of a wild zeal that isn't specifically objecting toward the affordability of his products nor giving out eco-friendly machines. In the long run, it may never work. Yes, all electric vehicles are more expensive, but the costs are clearly trending down, and their impact when powered by electricity created by renewable energy is much greater than a hybrid. Hybrids were a useful transition to all electric for some people, but by 2023, I don't think anyone will find it to be a good option for a powertrain. Long term, that's not going to work. To that end, thank you all for watching.